So I'm going to cut out that last part and I will re-put that together from here. So I'm going to come back up and exhale, hands to heart center. Good. And reconnecting with your intention. So my intention this past week or few days is letting go. So when we get into the hips, we carry a lot of emotional and physical trauma there. So letting go might be a good one for you. You can also practice that somewhere else if you need letting go. And then when we're ready, we'll come back up, turning palms away, growing taller. Good. And we are going to take the arms out wide. Good. And we're going to go right into a body wave here. So I'm just going to exhale and round forward and inhale on the open and exhale. And inhale. Now notice when you exhale and reach forward, can you think about a separation of the shoulder blade? And then as you open, can you think about pressing the shoulder blades back together? Good. And reach. And we'll open. Good. Good. And then from here, just open, open, open that heart. Take the gaze where the ceiling and the wall meet. And then from here, we'll come in. Big inhale, reach and lengthen. We're going to take a side bend to the left. So as you come over to the left, sits bones are rooted. Reach, reach, reach. Breathe and expand. And then when you're ready, you're going to choose. You can stay here. You can come out. You can side bend deeper. Sits bones stay grounded if you go deeper. You can choose to open here, or you can choose a C-curve roll, forehead in the direction of the knee. And this is where I feel where I'm at my tightest. So breathe and expand wherever you go here. And inhale and lengthen. Good. We're going to come all the way back up. Engage those obliques, those side abs. In, inhale, exhale. Taking it over. Reach, reach, reach. Good. And then from here, choosing, are you going to go a little bit deeper into the side bend? Are you going to open to the side? Are you going to take your C-curve roll? And then from here, we'll open and come back. Good. So from here, I'm just going to take hands behind the head. Good. Elbows, you don't want them to be really squished in here, but you don't want them to be as wide as possible either. Just kind of have them out where they're nice and relaxed. And we're just doing gentle rotation, going from one side to the other with the breath. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Good. And then when you're ready, just coming back to center and just shake it all out. We're going to go to our first hip opener. So we're going to go into the Agni Stambhasana, the log stack pose. So I'm just going to start with my right leg on the bottom here. And my left leg is going to come onto top. So you want to think about stacking your shins on top of each other. Think about ankle to knee, and your feet are in flexion. So your toes are facing forward. And if you are someone that has a lot of space under your knee here, you can fold up a blanket, depending on how much space you have, and put under here. You can stick a block under here for support, okay? Or if that doesn't work or feels even more awkward than you already do, take that top leg and place it forward, just because in this pose, a floating joint is a risky joint. So when we fold, we don't want to do funny things to the knee. So find your version where you need to be on this side, and then big inhale, reach and lengthen, exhale, hinging from the hips. We'll come forward. And when you can come no more with some length, take your hands down to the floor. Breathe and expand. So you should feel this deeper in the hip of the leg you have on top. But it is not wrong or unusual to also feel the stretch in the hip on the other side. So probably about 50-50. Half the time I feel it on both sides, half the time I don't. It just kind of depends on the day. And then when you're ready, inhale, exhale, walk this back up. Good. And then from here, I'm going to carefully undo. Take your feet about hip width apart or a little bit wider. And then I'm going to take hands behind. Now, just showing you a side view here, you want to keep a long spine. So you don't want to kind of just sink and collapse in here. But you can get a gentle windshield wiper, or you can take it all the way over to one side and all the way to the other. So just move and take that where your body needs you to take it. Good. And then when you're ready, we're going to do that all on the other side. So now whatever leg that you had on the bottom is now going to be your leg on the top. So I'm going to take now that opposite leg. Good. And again, this side might feel completely different to you than the other. So if you've got a big space here, feel that in, or take that leg and take it forward here. So there's nothing wrong with modifications. Always better to modify than risk injury. So from here, big inhale, reach and lengthen, and exhale, hinge and fold. Not to mention the fact, taking modifications and taking your time and honoring your body where you are will get you farther in your practice than trying to plow through and go beyond where you are and risk injury, which will cause frustrations and setbacks and take you longer to try to get to where you're going. Now breathe into that back body. Noticing differences between one hip and the other when you've come into this now. And when you're ready, we're going to take this in. Good. And we're going to carefully undo. So once again, we're going to go to those windshield wipers. So feet about hip width apart or a little bit wider. Hands behind you. We're in a long spine. You can keep it gentle, or you can take it all the way over to one side or the other. So move where you need to move. Good. And then when you're ready, we're going to come right into a tabletop position. So cushion those knees if you need to. So we're going to do just a few cat-cows here, but then we're going to also warm up the core before we come up and really flow. So spreading the fingers nice and wide, rooting through the knuckles of pinky, pointer, and thumb. Good. Hips over the knees. And then when you're ready, big inhale, shine that heart forward, tip that pelvis back, nice cow pose. And then exhale, really round mad cat pose. I love the shoulder stretch right here when I really press away. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. We'll do one more. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. Good. Now from here, find your table. I'm going to take my right foot back. I'm going to ground through the pinky toe and big toe mounds. And I'm going to let that right hip drop slightly. So I'm even in the pelvis. Good. Spreading the fingers nice and wide. Rooting through the knuckles of the pinky, pointer, and thumb. Good. So just get a little stretch here. Good. And then when you're ready, we'll come forward. We're going to lift. Opposite arm is going to lift. So what we're going to do here is we're going to round center, and then we'll come at lengthen, and then we'll come to the side. So it'll kind of look like this from the side view, just to give you an idea. Okay, we'll do that 3 times, and then we'll take another little hip opener. So from here, find your length. My right leg is back. My left arm is forward. I'm pressing that mat away with right shoulder. Big inhale. Exhale around. Maybe elbow and knee can touch, maybe not. Inhale and lengthen. Exhale to the side. Inhale and lengthen. Exhale center. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale side. Inhale, lengthen. Last one. Exhale center. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale side. Inhale, lengthen. From here, left hand's going to come down. I'm going to cross that right leg across the back body here, taking that foot down. You can press back through that heel, staying here, or maybe you come to the floor. Breathe, come back to that intention. Good. And then from here, when you're ready, we'll come up and we'll take everything back in the center and we'll wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. Good. We're going to go into the other side. So from here, left foot's going to come back, ground down, pinky toe, big toe mounds, press back through that heel, little micro bend in the elbows, drop that left hip slightly, belly button into the spine. And then when we're ready, we're going to come forward. Good. You take your lift, take your lengthen. And then here we go. Inhale, exhale, round. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale to the side. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, round. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale to the side. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, round. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale to the side. Inhale, lengthen. Good. Hand comes down. We'll cross that left leg over the midline, taking that foot down. Hopefully not onto something. And then ground down that ball of the foot, pressing back through the heel, or take it to the floor. And then when you're ready, we'll come up, we'll lift, and come back center, and wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. Good. Find a real quick child's pose here. Knees as wide as the mat, maybe. Arms forward for just a moment. And then when you're ready, we'll come up, and then we'll prepare for down dog. So if you're taller, AKA 4'10" and taller, take a half a hand's width or a full hand's width forward. If you're on the shorter end, like I am, you're fine to stay where you are. Tucking those toes, pressing the hands in and forward into the mat, lift and shift. So I'm going to keep my knees bent here. I'm rooting through the knuckles of the pinky, pointer, and thumb of the hand, but I'm also pressing through the big toe and pinky toe mound side. So I want my toes, ankle, knees, and hips to be in this alignment. Shoulders in their pockets, belly button is in, head and neck are free. We're going to continue to warm up the core just a little bit here. So keeping the bend in the knees, we're going to move forward. Now, the lower you take your knees, the harder you make this. The higher you take them, the easier you make it. And then we're just going to move back. And we'll come back and forward. Now, you can even tap the knees here just a little bit. Here's a little tap if you want that. And we'll take one more. Good. And then take it back. From here, keep a little bend in the knees if you're tight in the hamstrings or have some back issues here. Otherwise, you can lengthen the legs a little bit. Maybe you want to walk a dog. Maybe you want to come high on the toes and drop the heels. Find yours. Good. And then from here, find some stillness if you took some movement. Inhale, look forward, bend the knees. Walk, step, or hop your feet forward to meet your hands. Use a block to help you if you can't touch the floor. Inhale, lift and lengthen halfway flat spine. Exhale and bow. We're going to do that one more time. Inhale, lift and lengthen flat spine. Exhale and bow. Inhale, root through your feet, engage through your glutes, rise all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart center, finding breath, mountain and tension. Good. Now think up to yourself as we start to move here. We all have them. So what is a habit that you would like to change? And then see if we can think about a way later to take a practice on how to let go of that habit. So from here, big inhale, reach and lengthen. Exhale, hinge and fold. Inhale, lift and lengthen halfway. Exhale and bow. Inhale, root, engage and rise. Exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale and we lift. Exhale, hinge and fold. Inhale, lift and lengthen halfway. Exhale and bow. From the bow, plant the hands. Step or hop back to plank pose. Good. You choose take or skip a flow if you're a flower. I'm going to do a modified one, coming down on my knees, lowering halfway, lifting up into a back bend. And then I'm going to move back in the way that's best for my body to downward facing dog. And from down dog, inhale, look forward, bend those knees. Walk, step, or hop your feet forward to meet your hands. Inhale, lift and lengthen. Exhale, bow. Inhale, and rise. Exhale, hands to heart center. Couple more. Inhale and lift. Exhale, hinge and fold. Inhale, lift and lengthen halfway. Exhale, and bow. Inhale, plant the hands, step or hop back to plank. You choose take or skip a flow. I'm going to skip this next one personally, but you always take them if you want them. Making the practice short. And then from your downward facing dog, inhale, look forward, bend those knees, walk, step, or hop your feet forward to meet your hands. Inhale, lift and lengthen. Exhale, bow. Inhale, root, engage, and rise. Exhale, hands to heart center. Last one, inhale and lift. Exhale, hinge and fold. Inhale, lift and lengthen halfway. Exhale, and bow. Inhale. Now, when you step back into the plank pose here, hold that plank pose for a moment. Knees are grounded or lifted. If you're lifted, press back through the heels. Think about a long line from shoulder to ankle or shoulder to knee, depending on where you're going here. You're going to think about puffing up through the chest a little bit. Good. And then from here, I'm going to lower my knees first, but try not to collapse to the upper body. Come all the way down to the ground. I'm going to wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. Good. So I'm going to take my hands back by my hips. Good. Palms can be up or down. That's going to be your choice. So zip up from pubic bone to behind the navel. Lengthen, lengthen, lengthen through the low body. Belly button is in. From here, upper body only lifts. Rolling the shoulders back. No crunching in the spine. And we'll lower. Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. Lengthen, lengthen, lengthen. Belly button in. Pubic bone into the mat. From here, only the lower body lifts. And lower. Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. Drawing up from pubic bone behind the navel, pubic bone into the mat. Lengthen that low body when you're ready. Just upper, just lower, or maybe upper and lower together. And then from here, when you're ready, we'll lower, lower, lower. Hands under the shoulders. Stronger, more experienced yogis can tuck the toes, push up into plank, shift back down dog. Everyone else can move back through a table position and then find your downward facing dog. Take some big breaths here. Come back to that intention, letting go of something. So did you think of that habit that you want to let go of? Good. And habits doesn't have to be something like we think of habits like, smoking, drinking, not eating well, that sort of thing. What in your daily routine doesn't serve you that you can let go of? That can also be a habit. Something you don't really know why you do it. You're just in the habit of doing it. So you do it. And you don't even think about it. So from your down dog, when you're ready, inhale, look forward, bend those knees, walk, step, or hop your feet forward to meet your hands. Inhale, lift and lengthen halfway. Exhale, and bow. Inhale, root, engage, and rise. Exhale, hands to heart center, finding your breath. Good. So we're going to go into a Salute B practice here, and I'm going to give you some options. So if you're more of a beginner, or maybe just for today, you need a wider base of support. Your hips, knees, and toes are going to track here. If you want a little bit more challenge, you can step the feet and legs a little bit closer together or all the way together. Okay. So find where you want to be, where you want to practice. Big inhale, reach and lengthen. Exhale, sit back into your chair pose. Good. Now find your heels, find your glutes, find your abs. Belly button is in. Find your breath. So if you are practicing hip width apart or feet and legs are not together right now, think about really rooting those feet and legs in, and think about you're trying to separate them apart. So you want that outer engagement there. Those of us that have feet and legs together, can you find a deeper inner connection? And then from here, inhale, exhale, we're going to press through, zip up through that front body as we open into the back body, open up to the idea of letting go of something, and then we'll take a nice fold. Inhale, lift and lengthen halfway. Exhale, and we'll bow. Inhale, step or hop back to plank. You choose, take or skip a flow. So I'm going to skip this one. Good. And then from your down dog, when you're ready, left leg's going to lift 3-point. I'm going to bend that knee. I'm going to open to the left. Strong, even upper body here. You can circle an ankle. You can circle a hip. If you're okay with it and you want it now, you can flip over and find that wild thing pose here. If you're like, well, I want to do that, but that's kind of scary, lower down the right knee first. Roll over to your right side. Pick yourself up. Now you're there. Easier transition. Good. And then from here, based on where you went and the way that's best for your body, carefully come into your downward facing dog. Good. And from your down dog, when you're ready, inhale, left leg lifts 3-point, bending that knee. Round, step or pick up and put that left foot forward between the hands. Use blocks for stability if you need to. Warrior prep the back foot, heel to heel to arch or a little bit wider. Find the back edge of that back foot. Find that front heel as you rise with stability, warrior 1. Front hip will come back hip will come forward. Good. Now zip up through the upper body. We're going to press through the back edge of the back foot. I'm going to hinge forward. So even though my torso and my belly are touching my thigh, I'm still keeping my core engagement here. I'm not letting that be an excuse to let go. And I'm also watching what happens to this knee. So I still want it to be over or behind that ankle. Inhale, exhale, find that front heel, find the back edge of the back foot, rise with stability. I'm going to come all the way back and open into this little back bend here. Inhale. Exhale, and we'll reach. Lengthen, 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 taking path to the mat. Swivel up back foot, front foot steps back. You choose. Take or skip a flow. And notice already how one side's starting to feel compared to the other. And we'll take that all right into the other side. So from here, right leg's going to lift 3-point, bending that knee. Good. Opening up into the fire hydrant here. Good. So strong, even upper body. You can twirl an ankle. You can circle a hip. You can take that wild thing, flip over. So this is my injured shoulder side. So I'm just going to transition that the easier way. Coming onto my left knee, rolling over to my left, and then picking myself up. And then from here, wherever you went, based on what your body needs, find your way back to your downward facing dog. When you're ready, right leg lifts 3-point, bending that knee. Inhale, exhale, round step or pick up and put that foot forward between the hands. Warrior prep, find stability, rise. Warrior 1, get set up for success. Front hip comes back hip comes forward. Good. Now we're going to take that variation that we did on the other side. So I'm pressing through the back edge of the back foot. I'm finding that front heel. Belly button stays in. I'm coming in. I'm keeping that core connection as I come back. Breathe. Come back to intention. And then from here, finding that front heel again, the back edge of the back foot, coming all the way back up, moving through into a back bend. And we'll come up and we'll reach. And we'll take the path to the mat, swiveling that back foot, front foot steps back. You choose, take or skip the flow. Noticing again how you feel. Good. From here, left leg's going to lift 3-point, bending that knee. Round, step or pick up and put that foot forward between the hands. Good. Now, for this first part, I'm going to give you options. You can keep your back leg lifted, or you can keep it grounded. So when we go to the twist here, the back leg being lifted or grounded has nothing to do with your twist. That's all about power and balance. But I'm going to take my right hand to the floor. You can also put a block under here if you need to. And I am going to open up to the left. And I'm also watching this knee here. So if you have a tendency to kind of let that knee go out to the side, think about really rooting through the big toe and pinky toe mounds of that foot. Inhale, exhale, coming out of there. We'll all lower the knee here. I'm going to use my block here to help me come up a little bit for some stability as I reset myself. So my front hip's going to come back hip's going to come forward. I'm going to reach forward just for a moment, tucking the back toe, lifting that back knee and taking it back behind me just a smidge. And then I'm going to choose, do I want to hang out here? Do I want to hang out here? So you're really getting into the hip flexor of the side. Inhale, exhale. I'm going to use my block to help me with transition and stability as I begin to come into half Hanuman, the half split pose. So for this one, hip and knee stay in alignment. Good. It's okay to wiggle your heel out a little bit more forward on that opposite side, and you probably will have to. But notice the knee. So here's an example of a hyperextended lock knee. Okay. We want it to be a soft knee. Okay. I think personally that's the hardest part of this pose is trying not to lock this knee. But front hip back hip forward. Good. Lengthen and hinge. Use a block or two to help you for stability if you need it. Maybe you don't need it and the hands can come down. And then think about lengthening through the torso. So think about shining your heart towards your toes. Now there's some of you that can take this whole foot down here as well. That's fine. The main thing is the knee. Good. And when you're ready, I took my whole foot down. I'm going to lengthen. I'm going to kind of bring that foot in a little bit here as I come back up. Good. And then from here, I'm just going to take that foot back, plant my hands, tuck my toes, lift. If you want to flow forward a little bit here and take a little vinyasa, you can. Otherwise, you can hang out here and notice how you feel. Good. From here, when you're ready, your right leg lifts 3-point, bending that knee round. Step or pick up and put that foot forward between the hands. Good. So going into the twisty here, lifted knee or grounded knee. Practice where you need to practice. The left hand comes to a block or to the floor, opening to the right. Again, watch this knee. Anchor through the big toe and pinky toe mounds of the foot. Good. Inhale, exhale, taking that down. Good. Everyone will drop the knee here. Good. Making sure that knee is a little bit behind the hip. And then when you're ready, using a block for stability to help you come up and get set for a moment. Front hip will come back hip will come forward, and then I'm just going to sink in here just a little bit deeper. You can stay hands on a body part or the block, or you can come up. Belly button still stays in here to protect low back. And then from here, when you're ready, good. We're going to come up out of here and set up for the half Hanuman. So hip tries to stay over the knee. Good. You can wiggle this heel out a little bit more if you need to. Good. And then from here, remember, soft knee, unlocked. Inhale, exhale. Take it where you need to take it. Good. And then thinking about lengthening that heart forward. You can take the foot down if you want to or able to, don't have to. That takes some flexibility in the front of the shin, the ankle, and the front of the foot to be able to do that. Good. And then when you're ready, good, we're going to come back out of there. Good. Coming back in, take your knee behind you, plant the hands, come up into a plank pose, take or skip a flow, or shift back down dog. Good. From your downward facing dog, when you're ready, inhale, look forward, bend those knees, walk, step, or hop your feet forward to meet your hands. Inhale, lift and lengthen halfway. Exhale, little bow. Inhale, root, engage, and rise. Exhale, hands to heart center, finding your breath, your mountain, your intention. Good. So from here, we are going to go into our balance challenge. So you can always come to a wall or a steady piece of furniture. So we're going to put some different balance challenges together into one balance, if that makes sense. So I'm going to start on my left foot. Good. Hip, knee, and toe are going to come forward. Good. And then I'm going to pick up and take my right ankle right on top of that knee. So here's my knee. So I'm right above the knee. Good. Now from here, you can have a seat. So balancing figure 4. You can stay here, arms can come out wide. I'm going to take my right arm on top of the left. You can hug yourself. You can wrap yourself. Maybe you want to play with it a little bit, seeing how low you can go, maybe not. And then from here, pressing through that heel, coming all the way up, coming out of there. Shake it, shake it, shake it. Just let it all go. Let it all go. And then from here, we'll take that to the other side. So right leg, hip, knee, and toe face forward. Good. Picking up that other ankle. Good. Having it in place. And then when you're ready, you can find your little seated pigeon. Good. Arms can come out to the side. Left arm on top this time. Find a hug or find a wrap. And then if you want to play with it, you can see how low you can go. And then when you're ready, pressing through that supporting heel and foot, coming all the way up, releasing, and shake it, shake it, shake it. Whew. See how you feel now. Let's come and do our last little flow into a hip opener here. So we'll get into some warrior stuff here. This will include an extended side angle. So if you need a block for that, have that handy. Big inhale, reach and lengthen. Exhale, hinge and fold. Inhale, lift and lengthen halfway. Exhale, little bow. Inhale, step or hop back to plank pose. You choose. Take or skip a flow. Good. And from your downward facing dog, inhale, left leg lifts 3-point, bending that knee, round. Step or pick up and put that foot forward between the hands. We're going to warrior prep that back foot. And when you're ready, with stability, rise. And we'll open warrior 2. Front hip will come back a little bit. Back hip will come forward. Watch your tracking, hips, knees, and toes. Track or back. Hip and knee tracks towards pinky toe. Big toe is going to come forward. Good. Finding breath, coming back to that letting go. Maybe it's a relationship you need to let go of. That can be a friendship or something else, maybe a work relationship, something toxic, not serving you. You can stay here with the bent knee, or you can lengthen that leg if you want to and take it back into exalted. If you are someone who likes to wrap or bind, feel free to take that or just be. I'm still strong through the back edge of the back foot here. I can still pick up my toes and wiggle them in that front foot. Inhale, exhale, finding warrior 2. Inhale, pressing through that back foot. I'm going to lengthen and hinge, 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 hinge. Good. When I can come no more, some of you are going to take forearm to the thigh. Some of us are going to take a block inside or outside, or maybe hand to the floor, and we'll open here. Good. Or maybe arm up by the ear. So you could bind here, but remember, we don't bind in a fold, so we don't want to come out of that and contort ourselves to make that happen. So if you're going to bind, you should be able to bind from here and work on that there. And then from here, when you're ready, looking down at that front foot, we'll lengthen that leg and we'll take it back exalted. Good. Inhale. Exhale, warrior two. Make it your best one on the side. And when you're ready, inhale. Exhale. We're going to cartwheel that down. Good. I'm going to swivel up that back foot, and I'm going to bring down that knee again. So we're going to go into gecko here, also known as dragons if you take the yin yoga practice with me. So just to kind of show you different things from a different perspective, a little bit easier that way. Both hands are on the inside of the foot. Make sure that that knee that's grounded is behind the hip, not under the hip for comfort. Good. You can stay here. You can take this leg out wider. You can rotate it out to the side, hip, knee, and toe track. You can take forearms to the ground or onto blocks. You can roll onto that edge of the foot. Another thing you can do here, you can tuck that back toe, lift that back knee, press back through that heel. Whole body engagement here. And then when you're ready, if you took the back knee to be lifted, we'll ground that. If you went onto the edge of the foot, we'll bring that foot down. We'll come up from the forearms if you went there. Bring this leg back in. Good. And then from here, plant the hands, lift, front foot steps back. You choose, take or skip a flow. Good. From here, when you're ready, I'm just going to turn on the opposite side. Good. Left, right leg. It's the right leg. Lift 3-point, bending that knee, round, step, or pick up and put that foot forward between the hands. Good. Warrior prep the back foot. And when you're ready, rise. Warrior two. Roll the shoulders back if you can. Good. Watch hip, knee, and toe tracking here. Should be able to see those toes. Press back through the back edge of the back foot. Breathe. Now, what do you need to let go of? And then from here, when you're ready, keeping a bent front knee or lengthening out that front leg, take it back exalted. If you did an arm bind or a wrap, at this point on the other side, maybe find something similar here. And then when you're ready, inhale, exhale, finding warrior two. We're going to find that extended side angle. So pressing through the back edge of the back foot. Reach, 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 reach. Nice and long. Forearm can come to the thigh. You can bring hands down to the ground or block, inside or outside. And we'll open. Good. Find yours. Remember, binding is okay, but you want to keep the length in the torso. We don't come out of that just to get a bind. And then when you're ready, inhale, look down at that front foot. Exhale, press through that heel, lengthen that leg. Take it back exalted. Good. And then inhale, exhale, warrior two. Make it your best one on the side. Inhale, exhale. We'll cartwheel it down, plant the hands, swivel at the back foot. So going into the gecko, the lizard pose on this side. So your other knee comes down, make sure it's behind the hip. Hands are going to come on the inside of your foot. Good. Staying here, taking the leg out wider, maybe going into an external rotation. You choose there. Coming down on the forearms if you're going to go there. Rocking to the edge of that foot if you're going there. Maybe you're tucking that back toe, lifting that knee if you go there. So each one of these little steps is optional. So work where your body needs you to work. And you might not look like me, and that's okay. I didn't look like me 10 years ago. So consistent practice is the key. And then from here, when you're ready, if you took the back knee lift, we'll lower that down. If you went onto the edge of that right foot, we'll lower that foot down. I'm going to come up off of the forearms. I'm going to walk that foot back in. I'm going to frame that foot, lifting the back knee, planting my hands, front foot steps back. You choose take or skip a flow. I'm just going to come through, taking my last little flow here. And then from your down dog, we're going to lower the knees and we're going to find a juicy child's pose here. So knees as wide as the mat. Good. Lengthen, lengthen, lengthen. You can let the belly go a little bit here, but keep expansion in the rib cage. Good. And then from here, when you're ready, carefully re-engage the abs, so belly button into the spine, taking hands under the shoulders. Good. And we'll come up. Good. And we'll have a seat. Let's take our legs wide here. Good. And then before I fold, I'm going to come into that anterior tilt of the pelvis. So tailbone is going to come behind. Hips are going to rock forward. Good. Softness in the knees, especially if you're tight in the hamstrings. Hip, knees, and toes stay forward towards top ceiling. Big inhale, reach and lengthen. Exhale from the hips, long spine, hinge forward. Breathe and expand. Good. So another little hip opener here. Good. Inhale, exhale, and carefully walk that back up. Good. Take your peace fingers under your knees. We'll bring them in. We're going to come to Cobbler's pose, the Baddha Konasana. So you can always sit up on a blanket if you need to. Remember to not to bring the heels in too close to the groin. And if you're really jacked up here, maybe fill in the space with some comfortable props. Good. So from here, we're nice and tall in the spine. Inhale, exhale, hinge forward. Now, depending on if you have props or not and how much you have. If you want a little bit more of an opening here and it's safe for you, you can take your elbows into the thighs and just get a gentle press. Any pain, numbness, tingling, burning, not normal, back off. And then from here, we'll carefully come out of there. Good. So I want to be where I've got more room. So I'm just going to kind of demo this transition from here. Good. You can grab your toes. You can grab your shins. And then maybe you can come back with a long spine. Maybe you're balancing here with bent knees. Maybe you can take those legs long out to the side. Now, if you want to play with that rolling, you can play. It's really easy to overcompensate here. Or if you're like, I want to do that, but I can't do that with long legs, well, then just bend your knees and take your roll. Still having fun. Okay. And then when you're ready, just kind of find your balance where you need it. Okay. And then from here, just take those feet to the floor. Good. Have your blocks handy for yourself. We're going to come onto our backs now. Good. So as you come onto your back, wiggle, 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 settle in. Hips, knees, and toes are going to track here. We're going to do one basic bridge. So from here, pressing evenly into both feet. And we're going to lift those hips. Your body will let you know when you should not come up any higher. Breathe and expand. Be mindful of your knees. So they have a tendency to roll out to the side. They have a tendency to roll inward. Can you keep them in line with the hips? And then from here, we'll roll that down. Good. We are going to cross the right ankle over that left knee. Good. Some of you, this is going to be your figure 4 today, and it's kind of a modified pigeon, and maybe you just press into that thigh. Others are going to bring it in here. Good. Maybe you choose to rock side to side. Now, depending on how you feel, if you're seeking a little bit of a bonus challenge here, I will give you one. So you can hook a knee into one elbow, hook a foot into the other elbow, maybe cradling that shin. Maybe you're in a C curve as you take that left leg log. No, you don't have to be in a C curve here. That takes some work and flexibility practice, and I can't do it every day. Today is one of those days. I could probably force myself to do that, but why would I do that and dishonor my body? Just for a vain purpose. Good. And then from here, if you took the leg long, bring that knee back in, carefully release, and then carefully undo. Windshield wiper, windshield wiper. And we're going to take that into the other side now. So from here, we'll cross left ankle over right knee. Good. Press into that thigh. You can stay here if this is what your body needs you to do. You can bring it into the chest if you need to go there. You can rock, rock, rock side to side. If you're looking for that bonus, hook a knee, hook a foot, cradle that shin. Maybe right leg comes long here. So this is also core work because it takes your abdominals to keep this leg in space and from flopping willy-nilly onto the floor, which doesn't usually feel too good. And then when you're ready to come out of here, that knee's going to come all the way back into the ankle. You'll release, you'll come down. Good. Carefully undo, and we'll wiggle, wiggle, wiggle here. Good. You're going to choose your transition now to grab your blocks to place them for supported fish pose. So some of you are going to roll over to your side and come to seat. Some of you still want maybe just a little bit more core work. Maybe you roll like a ball when you come up there. Good. And then we're going to grab our blocks. So you want to make sure the key to this is you want to make sure that if you're using a block, you are not too low. You don't want to be down here in the lumbar. So think about higher being a little bit better. So right through the center part of the thoracic spine. And then you'll have one hand hold that block there. The other hand is going to guide you as you come down. Okay. And then maybe we open up here. Now, some people like to have a block under the head for support. You can do that in any height. Good. So you should feel a nice opening here. Some people like knees bent. Some people are fine taking legs long. Some people like crisscross applesauce. It's all a matter of where it feels good to you. Now, if you're using the bolster, good. You'll take that same positioning. Bolster will come closer to your glutes as you roll back there and open because the bolster is cushion is wider. Good. Now, I'm going to cue us to stay here just a few more breaths. If you need to come out of here, nod your chin, take your hands to the side, and press yourself up and come out that way. We just don't want the head to hang willy-nilly in space. Your neck doesn't really like that. We will go to Shavasana from here. So if you want to stay here a little bit longer for your Shavasana, you're welcome to do that as well. So, but from here, I'm going to come out. So I'm going to take my hands into my side. I'm going to nod my chin. Good. I'm going to use my hands to press myself up out of here. I'm going to move my blocks out of my way. And then I'm going to carefully come back onto the ground. Good. And then once I get there, I'm just going to wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. Find my comfort zone. Good. Your legs can be long and open, a bend in the knees on your side, on your belly. Maybe you're choosing fish pose longer, and I'll leave you here for a few moments. Good. So from here, if you are still on your blocks and fish pose, carefully take your hands by your hips, nod your chin, carefully come up out of your fish, remove any props out of the way that you used for your fish, and settle back down onto your back. Taking some deep breaths here. Choosing stillness, or gently take head and neck from side to side. Choosing stillness, or inviting movement of the fingers and the toes. Choosing stillness, or taking knees into the chest, choosing to keep the upper body grounded, or maybe you want to nod that chin and lift for a full body hug. And then choosing stillness, removing any remaining props out of the way that you may have used for your Shavasana time. Taking legs long in front of you, arms long behind you, and reach and lengthen from the edge of the fingertips to the edge of the toes. Full body stretch. Point and flex through the feet. Bend and stretch through the hands, rolling wrists and ankles in one direction, and then in the other. And then from here, whenever you're ready, carefully bending in both knees. And you choose rolling over onto your right or left side, the side that works best for your body in this moment. Taking a moment to pause. And when you're ready, carefully coming up to a comfortable seat, whatever that would look like for you. Maybe the same place you started, maybe somewhere different. And then finding a nice tall spine once you get there, ears, shoulders, and hips, noticing how you feel now versus when we started. Fingertips to the side, palms turning up. Inhale, reach, 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 and lengthen, touching palms together. Exhale, hands to heart center. Coming back to that intention, the letting go intention, one more time. We'll take our thumbs to our forehead for good and true thoughts, to our lips for good and kind words, and to our hearts for open and loving hearts, knowing no effort on this mat is ever wasted, no gain is ever reversed. May you be safe, may you stay well, may you have a wonderful day and week ahead. Namaste.